Sure, hi, my name's Nick Millward. I'm VP of Europe at mGage. So mGage are a global messaging provider to brands. So we do business with a lot of brands around the world, predominantly SMS, RCS, in-app push messaging, anything really that's specific to mobile is our game. We run a consumer-based survey to understand really from the consumers this time, instead of brands as we've done a lot within the past, around what is it that's important to them around mobile messaging, and some of the findings were quite interesting. So one of the areas that we found was that text messaging is still the most dominant channel, the channel, mobile channel of choice really, instead of other OTT solutions such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger and others. So they really felt that text messaging is still the channel that they would like to receive messaging on. In particular, certain areas like notifications from banks or maybe fraud alerts. It's a channel that they trust, and it's a channel that they like to communicate with their companies that they interact with. One of the other areas that we found really interesting was that consumers don't want to talk to the brands as much as previously we found. So the preferred channel of choice now is messaging. So most consumers are saying we'd rather message the brand rather than, I guess, sit on a phone call, try and navigate their way through a very clunky IVR. They'd much rather probably be in this asynchronous mode where they can send a message off via the mobile device and then receive a message back through that channel. So yeah, another area really is security that we drilled down on in the report, because we know from talking to financial institutions, big banks, insurance companies, that having a mobile channel which is very, very secure was something that they found was very important, and they put a huge value on it. So if we think back to the days of buying domain names, if a big bank out there had bought the domain name .com, .co.uk or wherever, you could pretty much guarantee to your end user when you visit that domain, it is you, and everything they read on that site is from you. Now, what's happening with email certainly, and to a certain extent SMS now, and other channels, is that the consumer's receiving information from the brand which may not actually be from that brand, and that's causing a huge issue in terms of security and fraud. So what we really looked at in the study was, well, what channels could we offer a solution for? And one of the key areas really that lends itself to resolving the fraud conundrum is RCS. So what it should be able to do is offer a platform where a brand can send a message, an RCS message, and it's guaranteed from that brand, and nobody can, if you like, pretend to be that brand sending a similar message, because through RCS it becomes a verified brand. You have the blue tick like you have in other social media worlds, where it's pretty much locked down to that brand, so you know that when you're receiving it, it is actually from who they're saying it's from. The other key statistic that really jumped out to us in the report was that more than 2/3 of people, and this is across various different age groups, it was fairly consistent with all different age groups, that they don't want to download another application. So again, when we think about RCS really lends itself to that. It is a native application on the device, it's pre-installed on distribution, like the SMS application. A message will drop into that application. And what I think we'll find is that certain applications from the apps, if that makes sense, will probably come across into RCS as well. I mean, we still believe there is a home for the app, and I think having a lot of complex integration with back-end systems would still be done through an app, but I think there are certain basic journeys that could be brought within RCS. So in summary, what we found through the report is that SMS is still the dominant channel for B2 consumer, so business to consumer, and the other way, so consumer to business. And that's what we're finding a lot now, is that consumers are communicating back with the brand through text messaging in particular. SMS has its limitations though, as we know, around verification, security to a certain extent, and the richness of the content. So again, the OTT channels like WhatsApp or Apple Business Chat or RCS will certainly be able to deal with those issues. The other thing that is we're completely conscious of is that consumers have an ongoing preference to message or to speak to brands through the mobile device. So it seems to be coming away, a lot more from, I guess, walking into a shop or making a phone call, certainly through the mobile message capabilities where we're seeing the engagement moving to. And just finally, quite interesting that consumers don't want to download an application. I think maybe we're hitting a generation where people are very time poor. People want to be kind of handed things, and it's a convenience factor really. Everybody wants to have things there at their fingertips and not have the effort of working out how to do this, make this engagement. And certainly through RCS, that lends itself very well to being able to do that.